That's what we did.
Okay. All right. How are you doing today, Tina?
I'm here.
I understand. I'm just going to have my little piece of paper here. I might take some notes. That way I can kind of remember what it is that, we talked about for later on. Okay?
Okay.
So I understand that you were referred here by your doctor. Can you kind of tell me what it is that you're here to see me about today, or why your doctor referred you to us?
I haven't been doing well. I've been dealing with some depression issues.
Okay. How long have you been feeling like this?
Oh, probably about 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years? Okay, I'm sure I did. And when did you last see your general practitioner, the doctor that referred you?
Probably about 2 weeks ago.
Okay. All right. How long? I know you said you were kind of feeling like you're feeling depressed or depression, and as far as give me an example of kind of what it is that you're feeling. Like you said, you're feeling down. Are you not feeling? What? Just how long have you been feeling down?
Well,
Give me
for
an
a
example of
while,
what it is.
I've been at home not really wanting to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And over the time, it's just been getting worse.
So kind of like you've lost interest in things that you used to have enjoyment with.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me how things are going right now. How you're feeling right now today.
Today, it's getting worse. I am staying more at home, not going out. I seem to get mad more often. Not having my grandkids as much. Just,
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that by choice from you, or kind of like your daughter, or?
It has been by choice by me, and now it's come to my daughter not as much.
So other people are recognizing that there's something going on now too.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're feeling down, kind of a loss of interest in things. Other people are starting to realize it, and you're just kind of feeling kind of blah, maybe? Is that a good word for it?
Yeah.
Or like you're going through the motions, maybe? Or
Having to make myself go through the motions.
forcing yourself through the motions. Okay. Okay. So at any point, are you feeling like pressure from other people to be up to par or to get things done, or are you feeling lonely?
Some days I feel like they want me to do more than what I feel like doing. Or they're trying to find things for me to do to make sure that I'm trying to be busy instead of just being at home.
Right, by yourself.
Mhm.
Are you? Give me a typical day for you. Are you working?
No.
Okay, so run me through just a regular old weekday.
My day that I would have, or the day that they want me to have?
Actually, both. You can give me both.
My day would be, I would get up, get my husband off to work, and I'd be usually trying to make him breakfast or lunch, and then I usually just maybe do a couple loads of laundry, and I just stay home.
Well, when you're at home, I see, we have your dogs here, so those are probably helpful, right?
Yeah.
So they keep you kind of busy. That's good. So what else can you do when you're at the house and you're there? So does your husband come home for lunch? So he comes in and kinds of...
No.
No?
No, I'll make him lunch, and he only gets 30 minutes for lunch, so.
So what is a typical day that they would like you to have?
Well, once a week I have my granddaughter, usually for a couple hours.
That's
A
good.
few hours. Go to the grocery store, or go get my nails done, or something that they, come over to my daughter's house, or something to get me out of the house. Anything to get me out of the house.
Okay. Have you talked to anyone about kind of how you're feeling? I mean, do you have anyone you can talk to, or that you have talked to?
I have a friend that I've talked to a little bit here and there.
And so when you talk to this friend, do you trust this friend? Do you tell her the truth about how you're really feeling, or do you tell her kind of maybe what she wants to hear?
General. I'll give her just a general.
Surface material.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like you're feeling down and you don't have anyone you can really kind of talk to or open up to, or, you want to kind of, you don't want them to know that you feel the way that you do because you don't want to burden anyone else. Does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay. And I can understand. Okay, so for example, let's say you're having to do laundry. Can you since you feel like you have to force yourself to do those things, what kind of thoughts are you having whenever you're doing the laundry or whatever it is that you need to do?
Just it's just minute, just like something to do, just to make it, do something throughout the day.
Occupy your time,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Really rather be sleeping.
Yeah. Do you want to just lay there and sleep because you feel like, what's the point, or you just don't?
Sometimes I just feel exhausted.
Tired and exhausted. When you have those thoughts, how does it make you feel? Like, give me an emotion that goes along with it. When you're having those thoughts of, oh, I'm tired, or I don't want to do this. Give me an emotion that kind of comes along with it.
What's it?
Like angry, happy, sad, frustrated.
Frustrated, and like, why is it worth it?
And why, yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of get the feeling that other people are thinking you should be doing better than you actually are. So I'm trying to understand maybe kind of where the emotions are coming from that you have whenever you're having these thoughts. Let's say, for an example, what's something that you enjoy doing for yourself? Something you like to go do or not do, or read a book, take a bath, go for a jog?
I like to put puzzles together. I like to read. Listen to music.
So when you think about doing puzzles or reading or whatever, how do those things make you feel how do you feel in your gut whenever you get to do those things that you like to enjoy?
It makes me happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So, for example, you can see kind of how doing things you enjoy gives you a better feeling about what you're doing than the things that you feel like you are forced to do. So these negative emotions that you're having about the things that you're forced to do, internally, like how does it make you feel that you're having these negative emotions?
It doesn't make me feel good.
Give me another word, more of a feeling word. Overwhelmed, exhausted, overwhelmed. Okay, you're doing a good job. All right, so let's talk about the physiology of your body. So for example, you were talking about how you like to just lay down, or you don't want to do anything, or you feel exhausted or tired. Physically, how do you think that affects your body whenever you're just like, oh, I'm tired?
I know it doesn't help it.
So you think maybe if we try to the opposite, reverse psychology, if we're like, okay, I'm excited to do laundry today, do you think that might change the way you see it? Maybe not right away, but possibly would be able to. So if you're sitting there thinking, let's say for example, oh, I'm tired, it's the end of the world, I have no energy, then that's not very motivating for you, is it?
Mm-mm.
So kind of self-destructing in a way. Those emotions are giving you negative effects because you're having negative thoughts, right? You see the correlation? Okay, so then we're talking about puzzles. Puzzles make you happy. Reading makes you happy. You get excited. You can feel those things inside your body that you're getting excited to do them. So usually when we have things that we like to do, we do more of them because they give us a good feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See how our thoughts affect our feelings, and then our feelings become actions. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go on a little bit further. We'll talk about a couple other things. Okay. So like on a scale of 1 to 100, 1 being the lowest amount of anxiety or lowest amount happy, whatever, and then 100 being off the charts of how anxious and just hopeless you feel. Where do you think you stand on a scale?
Probably 60.
60? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 60 is way better than 80, 85, 90, right? That's almost halfway there. All right. So, as we've been able to kind of go through this, you're starting to understand the connection between your emotions and your thoughts. When we talk about how you feel, do you see a change whenever you talk about how you feel?
Yeah.
Like you're recognizing kind of what it is that you're feeling. Okay, and so let's, for example, say your husband comes home for lunch and he surprises you. Would you feel like, oh man, now I have to do something else? Or would you be excited that he is there?
I would probably be excited he's there, but then I would think he's here to check on me.
Well, I mean, understandable. That's good though. But if we look at that same scenario and break it down again, why is he there to check on you?
Just to see if I'm laying around, probably. Seeing if I'm...
Right. But let's go down a little bit further. Why is he asking?
Because he cares.
Exactly. So if we kind of can look at another person's behavior from 2 different perspectives, then how would it make you feel if you thought he was there just to check on you? How does that make you feel on the inside?
Nervous.
Nervous? Okay. So let's hypothetically say you knew he came home just because he cares about you and he wants to see you. How does that thought make you feel inside?
Comforted.
Comforting. So again, we're starting to see the connection between our thoughts and then how those thoughts affect our emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tell me a story that gives you, it can be a kid's story, a wedding story, a vacation story. Give me a story that gives you a sense of happiness.
Probably when we went to Hawaii for our 25th wedding anniversary, and we were out looking, the whales were migrating from Alaska to Hawaii, and we were watching them, and a mama whale breached. They come up out of the water and then they fall back down, and then her baby came and did the same thing.
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
It was beautiful.
This is in Hawaii?
Mm-hmm. In Maui.
What were you doing in Maui?
We were celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary.
25 years.
Now we're going on 34.
How does that make you feel?
Wonderful.
That is an accomplishment. That is a very big accomplishment on both your parts.
Yeah.
So that is a happy story. So what kind of emotions do you feel whenever you think about that story?
It was just it was a perfect day.
Perfect day. Okay, so happy, elated, excited, right?
Yeah, it's something you don't get to see.
Yeah, it's something you wouldn't get to see very often. So can you tell, let's think about that story for just again, for example. How did your, like, can you feel it in your body physically? Did your heart start racing? Was it, butterflies? What kind of feelings?
Yeah, it was, my heart started racing and I think I even lost my breath.
Oh. And so even looking back on it now, you can tell how just thinking of that story can change your mood. Because now you seem, like you're kind of smiling and you're thinking about how much fun you had. And you were talking about your husband for 34 years. You had a big smile on your face. So thinking about those happy thoughts changes our emotion, which ultimately affects our mood, right? So let's see if there's a couple other things we can do that will help you in the future. So have you ever thought about like maybe a journal?
I have thought about it. I haven't started one, but I bought one.
Really? All right, good. Okay. If we were going to write down our mood, so we'll do a scenario so that you know kind of how to maybe put some things down on this particular type of work that we're going to be doing here. Let's say, what would you write if you were going to write first off? Let's talk about your mood. Let's say it was a Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're going to write in your journal. Give me a scenario of what you'd write about.
Well, every Wednesday I have my granddaughter from 8 to noon, so I'm probably in a good mood because she just left.
That's good. So your granddaughter brings you happiness, and that changes your mood. Do you only have one granddaughter?
I have one granddaughter and one grandson.
How many children do you have?
2 girls.
2 girls. So they both have one, or just one have both?
One have both.
And how old are they again?
My daughters are 32 and 26.
And your grandkids?
8 and 2.
Oh, wow, that's a big difference.
In fact, my daughters are 7.5 years apart and my grandkids are 7.5 years apart.
That's funny. All right, so your granddaughter would be here, so you would be writing, what's her name?
Macy.
Macy came to visit today. We had a good day. We did this. So then in your next column of your journal, you would put, I feel this, which would be how do you feel, usually when she leaves?
Happy. I mean, sad that she left, but content.
And then after that, how do you think that her visit with you, when you get to spend time with her, will affect your mood for the rest of the day?
It's usually a pretty good day.
After she leaves, it usually is. So we could practice more of that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how you would write in your journal. So let's pick another day, for example, so we can give both of them. What day is your busiest day of the week for you? Like Monday, Saturday?
Just Saturdays.
Saturdays? What do you do on Saturdays?
I go watch my grandson play football.
Ooh, that's fun. So again, this is another positive. You have a lot. Okay. So, for example, let's just say, let's pick a day where you've got a bunch of chores to do. And you're going to write in your journal. What are you going to put?
I don't want to do them.
Nobody wants to do chores. But
it's usually on Mondays.
Mondays? Okay. Do you make a list of the chores that you need to do?
I'm a list maker.
That's good. And then you cross them off. So when you cross them off, how does that feel?
Good.
Like a sense of accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
That's good that you do that for yourself. See, you're already further ahead than you think you are. Okay. And so then you do your chores and you sit down and you write in your journal. And what would you write?
I cleaned the house today and I just finished my list.
Okay, but you're thinking about how you don't want to do them, but think whenever you get to cross that one off the list, how that actually feels. So I guess it sounds like you just may need some motivation to get started, because it sounds like you really got a lot going on for you, that you're doing pretty well. That maybe you're tricking yourself into thinking you're worse off than you actually are. So that's what we're going to try to work on as far as your goals. So then you'd make a list of activities. I'm going to give you a homework assignment. So I'm gonna have you go buy a new puzzle. You go to the dollar store or wherever and get, which one, do you like the big ones, or just the
No,
little ones?
like 500,
500. How long do they usually take you to complete?
couple weeks.
Couple weeks, okay. Well, that might want, all you have to do at this point is go buy one and have it ready to, and then, what else did you say you like to read? What kind of books do you like to read?
Action, or, thrill, well, not thrillers, like, yeah, I guess they're called thrillers, I don't know what they're called.
Thrillers?
Yeah,
Okay. How often do you read, or?
just periodically.
Okay, so let's say we're gonna visit again next week. Do you think you could read maybe a chapter or two?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm writing that down so I know to ask you again next week how it went. So the whole point of this exercise is for you to engage in activities that bring about those happy feelings, the emotions that affect your mood. That's the goal of your homework assignment.
Okay.
Okay? Don't worry, we're close. So, tell me about like how you get to feel, how you feel whenever you finish reading a book. Say you finish it.
If it's good, I like it. If it's not, I don't.
So sometimes you can feel either like you wasted your time,
Mm-hmm.
or like you want to read the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can kind of encourage yourself to want to read, or encourage yourself to pick other books that are similar to the ones that you've already read, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the goal is to do things that change our mood, that make us feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you ever have moments that you kind of give yourself a hard time?
Oh, yeah.
Give me some examples of the things that you tell yourself whenever, you start to face those feelings.
Give me an example.
So like, I can't do this.
I do that all the time. But I just have to push myself through it. If I tell myself I'm going to do something, I just try and make myself do it, but
But it's exhausting.
it's exhausting. Like, just, sometimes just going to the grocery store, it's like, I don't want to go, but then I end up having to make myself go.
Okay, so we'll take that one for example. What is it, how can you change that as you're leaving the house? What is something different maybe you can say instead of, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, I don't want to go?
Well, I need to go.
Well, I mean, everyone needs to go to the store. What if we say, okay, let's try this one for an example too, whenever you leave next time to go to the store. If you say, I get to go to the grocery store because we have enough money to buy food, or, kind of be grateful that you get to go, because not everybody gets to go.
Yeah, I just don't like to be around a lot of people.
You don't like to be around people, that anxiety kind of comes along with it. I understand that. Well,
Go.
what
again.
if you picked a time where people don't usually go? You think?
I usually try and go in the morning because there's not as many people there.
I remember whenever I had a really weird routine for work and school, and I would get up and go at like 5 a.m. because nobody would be at Walmart, And it was so nice. I could get in, get out, be done 20 minutes, and
Well, I get irritated having to wait in line to get checked out.
right, yes. Well, what can you do whenever let's say you're standing in line and the person in front of you is, taking forever. They've got a million coupons. Identify what you could say instead of that, oh, God, here they are again. What's a different way we could look at it? Maybe if we change our perspective.
I'm there for a reason.
There you go, look at you. Oh, you're already a step ahead. Okay. So you have this belief that people are irritating. Why is it that you don't like to be around a lot of people? What kind of feeling does it give you whenever you're around?
I get anxious.
Like they're looking at you, or they're talking about you, or where does the anxiety come from?
I don't know, it's just come over the last few years. Like, I don't like to go to malls. I go in, get what I need, and leave.
Because you just don't. You can't tell me. Can you maybe try to think about how that makes you feel whenever you get around those people? What comes up, or if there's a reason behind it?
I don't know. I start getting like claustrophobic, and my breathing changes, and I don't know. I start getting sweaty, and I just can't handle it.
So instead, you could maybe count to 10. Practice saying, "I'm okay."
If somebody's with me, I'm a little bit better, but if I'm by myself, I'm not.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, what actually, we already did that one. All right. Well, do you think that maybe that comes from something that happened to you? You said it just came over in the last couple of years. Is there a reason? Did you?
I think it actually happened when the girls left the house, when I started being by myself more often.
Okay. So, being by yourself, you got used to being
Always
alone.
with somebody, and now I'm alone.
Okay. Empty nest, huh?
Yeah.
And so why do you think that you've made this correlation between your kids leaving and panic around people? Well, let's try to look at it from a different perspective, or let me offer an alternative explanation for it. So you've been around your kids all this time, okay? And you've got the happy feeling, right? They leave, and now you've got this panic mode. But you've become comfortable in your anxiety, so that now that when you get around other people, you kind of feel like you don't know what to say, you don't have anything to offer because you've got that empty nest syndrome going on, kind of. Does that make sense, or is that completely far off the chart?
No, it's probably true.
Okay, so then instead we could identify those feelings when you get around people and think, other people's kids have gone off and had kids. I'm okay by myself. What are some things you could tell yourself to help change your mood, just like we talked about, so that your thoughts affect your emotions may affect your mood. So what were some things that you could say to yourself when you start feeling that social anxiety?
I do have things I could talk about, or I would be okay around other people. I'm just used to having them and their friends and everybody, when I would go somewhere, I would always have a group. I wouldn't always be by myself.
Right. All right. Well, for this week, I want you to go, if you can, at least attempt to go to Walmart around noon. And just go in, maybe buy some eggs and some milk, and then leave. You don't have to get a whole bunch of groceries. Do you think you could try to do that maybe around 12 o'clock? And then maybe we'll try again later, maybe around 6 o'clock. We'll start with something simple. Or go to the mall instead during, evening time when people are there. You think you could try something like that?
I'll try.
That's a start, right? Good job. Remember, you're already further ahead than most people. You've got a handle on this. Okay. So, I guess I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to kind of hit this week. It sounds like we've worked through a lot. We have a lot of homework to do, right? What's your homework? Do you remember what it is?
I gotta buy a puzzle,
Yep.
go to Walmart,
Check.
and try to go to the mall.
Good for you. You don't have to do them all on the same day though, right?
No.
And then you're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about them, okay?
Okay,
How does that sound?
sounds great.
Okay, sounds good.